Happy Monday, everybody. Park Ranger Roland Bissonette from Cowpens National Battlefield. Thank you for joining me in my living room today for our last Southern campaign of the American Revolution Parks Group Clash of the Commander video series. This week, our final week, we are doing Vindictive Villains. Leah Tabor of Kings Mountain National Military Park did her video Saturday. Will Caldwell of the Over Mountain Victory National Historic Trail did his video yesterday. Adrian Stewart of 96 National Historic Site will do her video tomorrow. Normally this week, this episode would have been reserved for Lieutenant Colonel Banassery Tarleton, the leader of the British Legion, but since I covered Bloody Band in a previous episode, I wanted to pick a different villainous character. If you have seen the movie The Patriot, made in 2000, about the South Carolina backcountry during the American Revolution, the main British character, Colonel Tavington, portrayed by Jason Isaacs, is a portrayal of Lieutenant Colonel Banassery Tarleton. Some of the atrocities that Colonel Tavington does in the movie are based on what my choice did back in 1780, and that is British Major James Wemyss. This painting of him was done in 1826 when he was with the Scots Greys after the Battle of Waterloo. Why did I choose Major James Wemyss? Author Dr. Robert Bass, who wrote the book of the Green Dragoon, of the lives of Banassery Tarleton and Mary Robinson, also wrote books about the Gamecock Thomas Sumter and the Swamp Fox Francis Marion, stated that Major Wemyss was a demon. He also said that he had definitely become the second most hated British officer in South Carolina. Continental Brigadier General Henry Harrington, in a dispatch to British Lieutenant Colonel George Trumbull, stated about Major Wemyss' raids into the Petey Basin of South Carolina, wanton cruelties committed on Petey by Major Wemyss. He also said that Major Wemyss played the petty tyrant. A local community leader in South Carolina, 1780, Francis Kenlock, wrote to a British officer and stated Major Wemyss' treatment of civilians would make every Englishman blush for the degeneracy of the nation. Who was Major James Wemyss? He was born in Edinburgh, Scotland in 1748. He joined the British Army at the age of 17 in 1765. He arrived in Boston 10 years later, 1775, as a captain of the 40th Regiment of Foot. In 1777, he was promoted to major and was put in charge of the Queen's Rangers. Lieutenant Colonel John Graves Simcoe would be given command of the same regiment after James Wemyss. In 1778, he was given command of the 63rd Regiment of Foot. Then, late 1779, he joined Lieutenant General Clinton's force that came to South Carolina to start the Southern campaign. After the fall of Charleston, Major Wemyss was told to take part of his 63rd Regiment of Foot up here to Georgetown. And to bring stability to the area and to also recruit for loyalist militias. While in Georgetown, Major Wemyss wrote a dispatch to the new Southern Commander, Lieutenant General Lord Cornwallis, where he stated, principal inhabitants are some of the most violent, some persecuting inhabitants who only pledge loyalty to save their estates. They should be subjected to the most severe punishments. After Lieutenant General Cornwallis's victory at the Battle of Camden, August of 1780, up here, some of the prisoners were taken down to Thomas Sumter's property at Nelson's Ferry, down here. This is also where the swamp fox, so Francis Marion, attacked that forest and he set the prisoners free. Lieutenant General Cornwallis ordered Major Wemyss to take the 63rd Regiment of Foot, so into the region between the Santee and the Petee Rivers, and sweep it clean of any and all resistance in the most rigid manner possible to all of those who oppose some British authority. So beginning at Kingstree, down here, moving up towards Cheraw, in a 70-mile long, 15-mile wide stretch, Major Wemyss had his force destroy everything they came across. They burned every wig plantation, they burned every granary, they burned every boat. Anything of value was looted. Any animal that could be used by Whigs or to support patriots was either shot or bayoneted. Any man or woman or child suspected of being a patriot sympathizer was arrested. He ordered the burning of a Presbyterian church in Indiantown, claiming it was a shop of sedition. He also allowed the execution of prisoners. Major Wemyss, November 1780, would meet his own bad fortune at the Battle of Fish Dam Ford against General Thomas Sumter when he tried to charge Sumter's position. Wemyss foolishly charged in. He got shot off his horse and was captured. He was paroled. He returned to England in 1781. He came back to the colonies, to Charleston in 1782, to act as General Leslie's Deputy Adjutant General. He returned to England again. In 1783, he resigned from the British Army, retired back to his native Scotland. A few years after that, immigrated back over here to the American colonies, moved into Long Island, New York, and ultimately passed away in 1833. That's my talk about Major Wemyss. Hope that you liked it. As I said, you can catch Adrian Stewart of 96 National Historic Site tomorrow. Thank you very much for joining me and have a nice day.